Will the 2020 Tokyo Olympics actually take place this summer? It's a question on everyone's mind. And the answer is quite simply, yes. The International Olympic Committee, which has the sole power to cancel the Games, has been stubbornly steadfast in pushing ahead for obvious reasons. Their financial livelihood relies on Tokyo taking place, so pulling the plug is out of the question. So strap in and get ready for an Olympics like no other. The latest from the often maligned, regularly criticized, and highly controversial IOC is that Tokyo 2020 will happen in 2021 and that nothing will stop it. IOC Vice President John Coates made this come hell or high water statement in response to growing concerns in Japan as the July 23rd opening approaches. The Games were first postponed on March 28th of 2020 by 1 year, a point in time we are now well beyond in 2021. Pushback against the Games includes a petition signed by hundreds of thousands of Japanese people asking for their government to cancel the Games. On top of this, Japan declared and has now extended another state of emergency in the capital as COVID-19 cases spiked once again. Polls also show waning public support. Over 80% of people in Japan don't want to see the Olympics take place. Medical staff continue to express worries that hospitals remain on the brink of collapse in some areas, with health services already stretched thin. But whether Japanese people like it or not, it appears they will soon host the 32nd Olympiad of the modern era and the first summer edition in Japan since 1964. The contract between the IOC and Tokyo organizers is clear. The IOC is the only body that has the power to cancel the event, and it isn't budging. Tokyo organizers are inclined to stay the course because if they terminate the contract, they're on the hook for the bill, and it is a hefty one, with estimates somewhere around 41 billion US dollars. The IOC could have, according to the contract, reasonable grounds to believe in its sole discretion that the safety of participants in the Games would be seriously threatened or jeopardized for any reason whatsoever. What does this mean exactly? Well, if, say, an ongoing pandemic was taking place, the IOC could axe the Games out of public safety concerns. But despite that being the reality, scrapping the Games appears highly unlikely. If the IOC decided to cancel after already postponing it once, it would kick in what economists believe would be the largest group of insurance payouts in recorded history, as hundreds of multi-million-dollar deals would be affected. Tokyo officials find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place because when they signed the contract to host the Games and agreed to incur costs in the event of a cancellation, the idea of a global pandemic ravaging the world and bringing us all to our knees seemed far-fetched and reserved for Hollywood films. Countries could pull their athletes, and chances are some individual competitors already plan on staying home anyways. Even with superstar athletes like Naomi Osaka and Roger Federer expressing concerns over a host of issues, it seems these are the Games that cannot and will not cancel themselves. The stark reality is Tokyo 2020 will take place, however dire the situation becomes. The IOC has too much riding on this, and Japan can't afford to pull out. Get ready for the pandemic Games, an Olympiad like nothing we have ever seen, witnessed, or could have fathomed, or will likely ever see again.